In many respects, that's a hard Alan to follow. As the eldest Alan here, you don't know how much that hurts me to say. I'm here to propose a toast from the Allen clan. So, well, not so fast. I'm not going to get away that easy. I think we're jumping to some conclusions here that I want to set straight. You know, I think it's important to talk about, a little bit about, and share with you a little bit about the Allen family tree. And I want to shake it a little bit. And I want to make sure he falls out. And you know, and I've got some questions about that, and I think that I think it's important to do that. You know, in Ben's story, he started off with a picture, pretty. It was the right picture to be. It was of Hiram Allen, his great-grandfather, who, if you looked at those pictures and looked at him, you might notice that there's more than just a little look-alike between Ben and Hiram. Tall, thin, kind of the Allen nose. Hiram, unfortunately, died early in life because of a combination, we're told, of pneumonia and measles. That happened a lot back in those days. That was a common occurrence. It was too bad. But when Hiram died, he left a wife, Dee, who all of her grandchildren call her Mama Dee, and 2 daughters and a son. And the daughter was Gussie, who is still alive today in her mid-90s. Anna Lee, who died in her late 80s. And of course, my father and Ben's grandfather, Hairston. That's not a mistake. It was a mistake. He wasn't supposed to be a Hairston, but his birth certificate says he is. And that's why everybody called him Bud. You wouldn't want to be called Hairston either, who died just this past year at 89. Now, the great thing about this tree is there's some longevity in it. And that's good for you, Ben, maybe, if you really come from that tree. And one of the interesting things about Gussie, Annalie, Dee, and our dad, my dad, was that they, in their entire life, they had one spouse. In fact, Dee, Hiram's wife, never remarried. She was a widow for some 55 years. And when she died at 84, she died, that day she had spent a whole day working in the packing plant in Morrilton, Arkansas. A funny little sidelight. Her job was, they don't do that anymore obviously, but you know how you got a skinless wiener? They were all packed in the skin. Somebody by hand took the skins out. And that was Grandma Dee's job. And she had worked a full day that day before and when she died at 84. So we have a lot of longevity. But she never did remarry. And so between the 4 of them, they all had one spouse. So there's that in your background. So when you say take those vows tomorrow, oh boy, what you may have is a lifelong commitment. There are other trees in the Allen family, other limbs in the Allen family tree that are very strong. Integrity, honesty, dedication. My father, your grandfather, worked for the same company for 34 years. That's who he was. I think intellectual curiosity, kind of interesting. We have a number of degrees in the Allen family, and I want to take issue with, I made the mistake too of saying Ben's the first doctor. It was son Jamie corrected me that he is a Juris Doctor. So he's a lawyer, by the way. So they are technically a Juris Doctor, but clearly the first PhD. But there's a certain intellectual curiosity in the family tree. So all of these things are traits that it seems that you have. But now that you've been trained in the last several years as you've been achieving your accomplishments in your degree, you know that I haven't proven anything. There's nothing that I've said that isn't circumstantial. I mean, Ben has all of those traits, and he may have those genes. So, is there anything that we can point to that says Ben had to come from that almond tree? And there is. And there is a limb in this tree that is kind of strange. As a matter of fact, it's got a name for the limb. It's called quirky. And if you could, sitting on that limb, is truly the king of quirky, Ben's dad. And I think that we've seen when we talked about the attraction that Christy had for Ben, her one concern was maybe his quirky personality. I submit to you that it is proof positive that Ben in fact came from that tree, and that he in fact truly is an Allen. And I think that's proof positive. And you should feel good about that, because there are a lot of strong limbs in that tree. And Gail and I have talked about this quirky thing, and your dad truly was the king of quirky. And you got that straight from him. You couldn't have gotten it from anybody else. So you have to be. So congratulations. So with that, if all the Allens could be here tonight, if Hiram could be here, if Dee could be here, if Bud could be here, Gussie and Annalie, and all the rest of them, they would look at this couple and say, we are really very, very proud of your accomplishment. We're very proud of your choice for a spouse. We're very proud for you as a couple and what you've achieved. And to, if you'll all raise a glass, to Ben and Christy, may their lives together be joyous and wonderful. And I also want to point out one thing. I don't think anybody's used this word Hurston. So that's available to you.
It's in there. It's coming.
So here's to the two of you. May your lives together be always happy.
Cheers.
Thank you.
And forever quirky.
No, it's out of the bag, then I'm quirky.
Nobody knew by your outfit.
Yes, they can. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for coming here. You're all here because you're special. Thank you for everybody who spoke.